Hawks lose 7-3 at home to the Penguins. We are contractually obligated to talk about it, so we're going to. Join us next on the postgame show. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks postgame podcast presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use our code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And that was not an ordinary loss. Hawks lose 7-3 to the Pittsburgh Penguins. And look, the story of this game is that Spencer Knight was bad. It was the first time we've seen him look anything remotely like this in his time as a Blackhawk. This happens to every goalie in the history of the NHL, from Patrick Waugh to Steve Passmore and everyone in between. No disrespect to Steve Passmore, by the way. It's his first backup goalie I could think of.
Jeff Glass,
exactly. Scott Foster.
Yeah.
These games happen.
Never happened to Scott Foster.
But it's 4-0 before people are in their seats fully. 12:03 into the first period. I'm sorry. Yeah. 12:03 into the first, it's 4-0. And the game's over. There's really nothing you can do to fight back. There's nothing you can do to try to get back into it. You look at the numbers for the first period. The Hawks had the edge in play. It was a .44 expected goals for when the Penguins had 4 goals on the board. It was a bad performance from Spencer Knight. And when it's 4-0, 12 minutes into the game, it's really hard to make heads or tails about what happens after that. Because the Penguins are shutting it down. And they're on the road. They are not there to entertain. They're there to win. And that's how it went.
Yeah, I mean, that game was pretty much over halfway through the first period. That first period, they're down 4-0, but they didn't play a bad period. They just didn't get the saves. And the Penguins got the saves. They got helped out by a couple of goalposts. Ryan Green got set up by Nick Lardis on just a fabulous pass.
Yeah.
When it was 1-0 and hits the post, if he scores there, it's 1-1, and we may have a different game.
Yes, absolutely.
A few minutes after, when it was 2-1 or 2-0, Landon Slaggert gets in on a 2-on-1 with Tyler Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi slides the puck over to him, and he kind of duffs it. Looks like me on the golf course. It's the top of it, and it flutters.
Practice swing.
And
it still almost beat Seelov.
He fooled him. The changeup fooled him.
He had to check behind him, which you and I have probably had to do a few times in our lives. Like,
I've done that.
We're good.
Twice tonight. And then Louis Crevier hits the post at the end of the period. Nick Lardis had 3 or 4 prime scoring chances. Seelov early in the second period came across and had this really weird concept where he had his stick covering his 5 hole so the puck didn't go through. Hey, Spencer Knight, you want to try that? I mean, weird. Just kind of, I'm not going to rip on Spencer Knight. He was awful tonight, but he has been the Blackhawks' most valuable player outside of Connor Bedard all season long. Coming into the night, he had the 8th best goals saved above average in the NHL. He's made the 2nd most high danger saves in the NHL. He's been fabulous. Tonight, he was lousy, and it cost the Hawks a game. But you're not going to get the pitchforks and torches out for Spencer Knight at this point. It's a bad game. Lock it up and move on. They put him back out there for the third period.
I thought that was interesting. I'm interested to hear what Blashill has to say about that. I guess
with Söderblom playing last night, maybe put him out there, make some couple saves, literally a couple of saves. The Penguins only had 2 shots that period because they weren't trying. But whatever. It is what it is. Get a little confidence back in him, or just get him back on the ice.
Up a little bit.
Sure. Those 2 extra saves made a big difference. He gave up four goals on 9 shots instead of 7.
Yes.
So he's lost 5 starts in a row, which is not great. Not all that's on him.
No.
Tonight's on him, but you still need to start winning some games. It just sucks that a night like tonight where This is like that. You ever have everybody has that day where you get out of bed and you realize you forgot to put coffee grounds in the coffee machine, so you just boil a pot of hot water. Then you get caught by a freight train at work, and
you
then
get your belt buckle stuck on the doorknob.
Yeah, and then you get your jacket caught on the door, leaving the United Center for the 14th time this season.
I've seen that happen.
And then you spill ketchup on your work pants 2 minutes into everything goes wrong. That's what happened tonight for the Blackhawks. So you just go to bed early and wake up the next day and hope it's not as bad.
Yeah, I mean. It
just sucks. It happened tonight.
Yeah, because you felt so good after last night.
Yeah, you go to Dallas, you beat one of the best teams in the league, but you were helped last night with a few goal posts.
Sure.
So hockey posts giveth and they taketh away.
So here, I'll tell you, during this game, I thought the Hawks started really well, and then it was 1-0, and then it was 2-0. You're like, all right, and it was 3-0. I'm like, you know what? The way they're playing, and with Silovs in goal, I think the Hawks could actually come back in this game. And I actually went on Bet365 and bet for them to come back in the game because I'm like, they're playing okay. It's just a bad goalie start. They got plenty of time to get back in this. Ultimately, they didn't, obviously, and I lost my $9. I'll be okay.
There's not much you can do when future Hall of Famer Justin Brazeau
pots
a hattie against you.
The point being though is as I was watching the game, I'm like, all right, it's 3-0, but they're playing fine. It's just a bad start. They got time to get back, but everything went to hell tonight, as you mentioned. So look, it's frustrating. It sucks. And I don't know, there's just not a ton more to say about it. And I think what's going to be interesting to see is Jeff Blashill been talking about practicing tomorrow. Is that the best move now? I don't know how he says no, but if he's feeling like these guys are just wrecked from that and exhausted from back-to-back games, maybe you don't, and you just do a more intense morning skate on Tuesday. I don't know. Here's what I do know. If Spencer Knight talks today, and it wouldn't shock me if he does, he is going to lay the entire loss on himself.
Oh, absolutely. He will 100% say, that one's on me. I feel bad for letting my team down. He didn't play to his standard, and he'll be the first person to tell you that. Most goalies will. Goalies rarely ever get to a locker room and say, these idiots in front of me killed me tonight. They never say that, even when that's the case.
Right.
That wasn't the case tonight. So, I mean, it is what it is. A bad loss, but it's not like this wasn't the Buffalo game. This wasn't the Anaheim game where there was no effort and they embarrassed themselves. This was a game where there's just nothing was going right for them. And all the Penguins had to do in the first period was just slide the puck towards the net and it went in.
Yeah. 4 times.
Yeah. There's not much you could do on a night like that. And so you just burn the tape, take what you can out of that. And you've got the New York Islanders coming here on Tuesday.
Probably without Matthew Barzal.
There's no way. Woo! Easy.
He stabbed a man with a trident.
Easy killer. I mean, listen, I'm sure Mason Marchman has done a lot to people that deserve something like that.
Couldn't be. That doesn't run in the family.
Not that play. I mean, whatever. But yeah, so maybe a Matthew Barzal less New York Islanders is just what this team needs.
Well, I will say this, credit to the Hawks for not just completely tucking their tails and mailing it in. Especially, there's 2 guys I think that we should shout out, and spoiler alert, they're going to be our Game Puck nominees. So we'll do that officially at the end of this segment. But Tyler Bertuzzi never quit in this game, was doing everything he could to make things happen.
Scored with 0.6 seconds.
Yes, scored a goal as time was expiring to make it 7-3. And Nick Foligno, in his first game back, we know for sure Nick Foligno is not close to 100%, but he is able to play. And if Nick Foligno is able to play, he's going to come back. Scores his first goal of the year tonight, was finishing every check he had the opportunity to finish.
That goal was highlight reel worthy, going between the legs, the old gray beard with the silky mitts, hey, that was fun. And at the time you thought, oh, maybe they'll make this interesting. It was 4-1 halfway through the game. There's some life in the building. Nick Foligno scored that goal at the same time the Bears ran back the first pass of the game for an interception. So all of a sudden there's some life. And then a minute later, they get that too many men on the ice penalty while they're having an extended zone time. That's their 9th too many men penalty this season.
That's too many.
That's far too many. And that is a bench problem. That's not That's not a tripping call. That's not a lazy stick penalty. That's not a battle penalty. That is a brain fart penalty, and those can be avoided. And that's too many. It's one thing if you've got it in a weird line change and it hits a guy, while the puck's
those will happen.
They were in the zone for a good 15 seconds changing, and they got called. That's just not paying attention. That's bad
was
awareness.
Such a weird sequence that it was, as it was happening, everyone kind of was like, why did they stop the play? Because, you'll see like a puck will leave the zone and hit a guy in the skate, or you know what I mean? Like it's
if there's a turnover,
exactly.
Line change, you go, caught you.
I don't know if I've ever seen one where an extra guy just decided to come and start playing.
Yeah, that's just not paying attention, and those are the types of things. And then, of course, 8 seconds into that power play, the Penguins made it 5-1, and I doubt the Hawks were gonna come back, but it just killed any of that momentum you had. And then they gave up a 6-1 shortly after that. And at that point, it's like,
then it's over.
It's like, all right, let's watch the Bears game because this is over.
Yeah. Frustrating, but it was good to see though. And I don't want to single those two guys out as the only ones who kept, I think the whole team for the most part did their best to try to get back into it. Oliver Moore mentioned in the chat by JK Watch Fan. Oliver Moore is a guy who I don't think we'll ever have to really worry about losing that motor, losing that intensity. Now, you want to see a little more from him offensively. Had a nice chance in the third, shot a little bit high. But if you're looking for a silver lining for this, you did see Lardis and Moore and Green get more ice time than they'd been getting. 15:05 for Moore, Green 15:56, and Lardis 16:03, and that included a minute 36 of power play time. Last night he had no power play time. Lardis with 3 shots, 6 shot attempts, credit with a hit, and 2 giveaways. 1 bad giveaway, by the way, led to a breakaway for the Penguins. But those are going to happen with young players. But that's the sort of stat line you want to see every night from Nick Lardis.
Yeah, shoot.
Except some points, too.
Well, yeah, but if you shoot, you're eventually going to get points. Eventually, they'll go in. By the way, 9 too many men penalties. The most in the NHL.
What's second most? You have the whole list?
7.
Okay.
So
it's not a complete.
It was 8. Actually, the team with the second most are the Penguins, so it's 7. So hey, you knew somebody was going to do it tonight. It just happened to be the Blackhawks.
Did Bet365 have a over under one and half too many men penalties wager tonight? I didn't see that one.
Bet on over 5.5 men on the ice at one point in the game. Yeah. So what else you want to talk about? That's the game.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically it. I mean, that is the game. And I think, we can dig into some of the numbers here and look at some of the ugly things. And look, when you lose 7-3, you're going to have some really, really ugly numbers on the stat sheet. But there was a Hawk that finished plus. 2 Hawks that finished plus. Tyler Bertuzzi, Connor Murphy, and Landon Slaggert. We're all plus players. What do you think of Slaggert tonight? Second game back from the call-up. Had that spinorama moment. Yeah. Couldn't make it turn into anything.
He was fine. I mean, he's noticeable for 3 shots on goal. As I mentioned, he had the one play where he kind of duffed the puck. Still almost went in. Yeah, he's been much better these last 2 games than he was at any point in the season here. But I think it's the fact that he's healthy. He started the season, barely got training camp. I don't think ever really got his game legs going until he went down to Rockford and was playing every night.
Right,
was
bigger
practicing.
Minutes too.
So,
yeah.
He was fine. I mean, Landon Slaggert to me is a guy. Anything you get out of him is plus. He's probably a guy that when this team gets healthy is not going to be here, but we'll see what happens. He was fine. Good for him. He's an easy guy to root for, as we've said many times. So, he fit in well with that line. He's not the same player as Ilya Mikheyev, whose spot he's taken, but they're somewhat similar. They both, can skate well. They're both defensively responsible. They'll finish their checks. So, he was given a role that he could fill, and he's done it well for 2 games.
All right, we're going to hit the break zone for the first time. If you've not done it yet, please do us a favor and hit that like button. We would appreciate that big time. And it is time to officially tell you about our Game Day Men's Health Game Puck nominees. Better father, better husband, better man. Go to Game Day Men's Health. Visit GameDayCHGO.com Manor.com to find locations closest to you. Our nominees are Tyler Bertuzzi, who ended the game with a goal. I believe he was also the highest rated Hawk on the old Purple Lions. He was a +1, 20:03 of ice time, 2 shots on goal, 3 shot attempts. And Nick Foligno in his return, first goal of the season, which shocked all of us. Like, really? It's his first goal? Yep.
Yeah. I mean, but he's been out so long that you forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 shots, 2 hits for Nick Foligno. So get your votes in for the game puck. All right. Hit that like button. We're going to hear from Nick Foligno on the other side of this break on CHGO Blackhawks. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And with their early payout offer, you're a winner if your football team goes up by 17 points with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. So download the app and use our code CHGO365 when you sign up Monday Night Football. Got a big one tomorrow. 50% super profit boost tokens on same game parlays. And breaking news from Bet365, new customers now get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. So sign up, use our code CHGO365, deposit $10, place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose, and use those bonus bets on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. You must be 21 plus, and if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, and this offer is in-app only. And most people can't name all their financial accounts. If you want to feel confident in your finances and organized in your finances, check out Monarch Money, the all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean interface on your laptop or your phone. And right now, just for you, the CHGO listener, Monarch is offering 50% off their first year. It is built for people with busy lives. If you put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting. Link all your accounts in minutes. Get clear data visuals, smart categorization of your spending. It's great. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Start using Monarch Money like I have. Use our code CHGO at monarch.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with the code CHGO. Make 2026 the year you get your finances under control finally. And whether it's peak performance or becoming a better father, a better husband, or a better man, Game Day Men's Health wants to support every man's health journey through personalized care tailored to your goals. It's a very easy process. You'll be in and out of the office in an hour. They're personal care providers, they're family and locally owned clinics with a huge, excellent success rate. Feel better. Maybe you're middle-aged like me, just turned 48, feeling it a little bit. Get your testosterone checked, get some vitamin supplements, maybe weight loss, maybe your hair is thinning. Whatever you're looking for, if you want to improve yourself physically, you want to improve yourself mentally, improving yourself physically goes a long way in that regard and vice versa. So get in touch with our friends at Game Day Men's Health. Start your best life with Game Day Men's Health. Scan that QR code on your screen right now or visit Game Day CHGO to find the locations closest to you. Again, Game Day Men's Health, GameDayCHGO.com. All right, we are back on CHGO Blackhawks. Thanks everybody who hit that like button for us during the break. Please do it again. If you've not, we got a lot of people watching. We need to have the viewers and the likes matched up. That's how it works. All right. Don't make Sarah angry. She will start breaking stuff. She will rip Noodle Man apart. You don't want to see Sarah angry, I promise. So hit that like button. Why don't we hear from the Blackhawks captain, Nick Foligno, who played his first game in, 15 games I think he missed? Something around there. Yeah,
November 15th was his
freaking
last
time
game
for Nick Foligno. Got back in, scored a goal, was a big factor all night. So let's hear what the captain had to
Blackhawks were
say.
still a fun team the last time he played. That's how long he's been gone.
Damn, that was a long time ago.
You know, it's been a long way for you.
Yeah.
How are you feeling tonight?
Yeah, I was excited to get back with the group, obviously. And you hate being away, especially, with some of the injuries we had after and, just wanting to help this group move forward. So you do your best you can when being out, but, it's nice to get back and get healthy. So I give the trainers and everybody a lot of credit for getting me back.
It seemed like the group, maybe a mix of rest from the holiday, a long day yesterday with travel, game, everything, or, just...
Nah, I don't really.
You don't, okay.
I can't. I just don't think, if anything, that was yesterday's game, that you can make those. I just don't think we're a team that needs to be making excuses. I think we're a team that needs to just find ways to get better, and I think that's the most frustrating part for us is probably there's a lot to love about this group, and I think that's where we expect more out of ourselves, and I think the coaching staff is just like, they want to see us get that mindset and understanding of how we need to play in these moments, right? And it seems to be a problem right now where we're not handling these back-to-backs the way we need to, and that's probably more between the years. I think there's a lot that we are, we're well conditioned, we're well prepared by the coaching staff, so I think it comes down as a man to just the pride and understanding of how to play a defensive mind game sometimes when you're on a back-to-back in situational play. So but it's hard because it's this is an encouraging group. As weird as that is to say, it is. It's a team that you get down on because you see when it's there and what it can be, and then you have these moments where it not frustrates you, but it just disappoints you a little bit. But that's where we're at right now, right? We're learning how to win. Mm-hmm. Right now we're finally a team that's kind of past the just trying to figure out who we are, and now we're trying to learn how to win with what we have. And this is the unfortunate part sometimes where you hit a little hiccups along the way, and we have to be better.
Does the focus remain on winning? I know the playoffs have kind of slipped out of our grasp since you've been gone, but does this group right now, especially without Connor and Frank, need just the focus on the process? And I guess is what's important to change at all?
I think even when Connor and Frank were in, the process was always the focus, and I think it gave us the results, right? And we have different personnel in, but the process should almost stay the same, if not, get a little bit sharper. And that's where I think you look at yesterday's game against a team that you could argue is the best in the Western Conference, and our details and our habits. And our goaltending was really good, but we also found ways to get momentum back when we didn't have it, or keep momentum when we had it, and go into a tough environment and get a win. So it's the Jekyll and Hyde a little bit, right, that we're dealing with. And I think for us, it's staying the course. It's understanding that the process will prevail. The process will allow us to become a winning team. And it's not fun, and it stinks in front of 20,000 fans tonight to not have a better effort. But that is kind of the where we're at with the group that we have, right? We're still young in some areas and inexperienced, and it shows in those moments. And it's not an excuse; it's just the reality. And then I think that's where our coaching staff and our understanding as a group is like, if we process focus, a lot of that goes away. A lot of that inexperience gets made up for. And I think we just have to understand that and really sink into that in those moments. Like tonight where, all right, you're coming back. We don't have a ton of experience on back-to-backs. All right, let's just be really dialed in on our defensive side, make sure we're clearing out the front of the net, make sure we're doing all the little things to get our game going. And then all of a sudden our plays come to life. And that just wasn't the case today. We allowed a lot of plays around the net, and they make you pay. That's a good team over there. So that's where we can learn and get better. But it's not to get down and say, oh boy, here we go again. It's just, all right, catch ourselves and let's get back to work.
How were you feeling, and how did you feel out there?
I felt good. Yeah, I feel good. You just try to come back and make an impact, and and then it stinks to be in a game like that tonight. To be honest with you, you get amped up to get back, and then it kind of goes south really quick. But I've been in enough of these where enough playing time where you understand how you have to impact the team and the game, and so you just try to go out there and do your job. And I think it's a good lesson for probably everybody.
You got a goal.
Yeah, I could care less about that, to be honest with you. It's just nice to get in and start impacting the game again. That's what my focus is to be reliable for these guys and be reliable for the coaching staff. So in situations that I can help out, and I can, and I felt like I was, I'm getting back to that. And one game I'm not going to really judge myself on. It's just nice to get back and get rolling here.
All right, there he is, Nick Foligno, not interested in excuses. Good to have him back. I think he is more important to this team, not just off the ice, which is obvious, but on the ice as well. It's a guy who plays hard all the time, usually makes the right play. I always think about this, I'm sure you've had this thought in your life. If I had known what I know now when I was younger, man, I'd be so much better off
every day of my life.
I think Nick Foligno is one of those guys where, man, I understand the game at such a high level now. If only I had the body and the ability I had 10 years ago, and this knowledge now how great things could be. Because Nick Foligno was an all-star player, 20-some goal scorer a couple times, effective player, but now at 38, he just doesn't have the athleticism anymore, but he's still incredibly effective. I thought he had a really good game tonight. And it wasn't just the game puck nomination. It's not just oh, welcome back, good job, you scored a goal. He was really a factor today.
No, he had a shot on goal the very first shift, gave up a big rebound in the middle of the ice. Nobody was there to get it. But hey, he shot the puck.
All right.
That's more than we can say for some of these guys on the team. And then, the goal was nice, but as you mentioned earlier, just finishing any check that he could. Just, I'm sure he was chirping away on the bench. And that's something Blashill said last week was something that they missed the most from him. Not only what he does on the ice, but off the ice, especially on the bench. He knows the moments to speak up, to get guys going. He says it's been too quiet. He almost looks to see when somebody's going to say the right thing, and he's not there. So,
a good example of that is last night, overtime. The Hawks had the puck in the zone for 30 seconds, and no one's shouting 10, 5, and they're just like, hey, how's it going? I'm gonna drop it to you. Oh, drop it to me.
Or like,
this is fun.
Or like
someone shoot the effing puck.
Or like the second power play unit tonight, down 4-0, and has the puck in the zone for 30 seconds, and nobody wants to shoot.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to have some guy, your captain, screaming from the bench to shoot the puck. That should be your first instinct.
Yes.
It's so frustrating to see this season with so many guys that just like, let's pass it 6 times. No, you're down 4 goals. There's no such
Just
look
start
at
throwing at the nets.
Wyatt Kaiser's goal was a product of just getting the puck to the net.
It didn't even get it.
No, but he got it towards the
It
net.
was near the net.
It hit off the end boards and then bounced off the goalie. But if he passes it for the 9th time, that goal never happens. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Try it. It might work. It might not work. But maybe it will. It's better than like, okay, let's pass it here. Okay, now pass it back. Nope, maybe I'll shoot. Nope, I'm going to pass it. Just shoot the freaking puck.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's take the temp. Sarah, is it time to take the temp?
I got a temp for you.
Taking the temp is presented by your trusted local experts at Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. That's fourseasonsheatingcooling.com. And I'm doing a better job at ignoring the chat. But Louis asked a question. It's one above that most recent comment from Louis right there. It says, I don't see how we can even improve next year.
Well, good thing you're not GM.
Guys, let's zoom out here a little bit. Let's take a look at what's happening. You're without your 2 best offensive players by a significant margin. And Connor Bedard, who is having an MVP caliber season until he got hurt, making a case from a 0.0005% chance of making Team Canada to a significantly good chance of making Team Canada in just 30-some games, right? Frank Nazar, who went 21 games without a goal, yet was still on a 60-point pace.
Right.
Okay, those guys are out. The last 2 games, you've been without your best penalty killer and Ilya Mikheyev, right? You've got Anton Frondell dominating the World Juniors. He should be here next year.
Might be here by the end
Could
of
be here this year.
He's looked really good. Vasilov Nestrasil has been one of the best players in the tournament.
100%.
4 points in 2 games, the no-look assist and the no-look goal.
Yes.
If you're not excited about what he could do at 6'5", 200 pounds.
Right. And look, is he 2-3 years away? Yeah, probably. Roman Kantarov is scoring at a pace in the KHL that only the greatest of the great have scored at in that pace.
The last person to be under 23 years old and have a season like he had in the KHL was Kirill Kaprizov. You heard of him?
Yes.
Yeah. He'll be here next year.
Yes. Kirill Kaprizov?
No.
Oh, damn it. That'd be cool, though.
Well, maybe they'll trade him for. Do we have a Hughes brother we can send him? Do we have?
Let's find one.
Do we have Bort Hughes somewhere in the minor leagues?
Bort Hughes, I love. Artem Levshnov has played 53 NHL games. 53. Yeah. He's going to be better next year. Sam Renzel, who me included, were like Calder nominee coming into the season, struggled a little bit, got sent back down to Rockford. He's going to be back. Kevin Korchinski might get a chance. Wyatt Kaiser will continue to grow. Look at the jump that Louis Crevier has made.
Nick Lardis is going to start potting some goals.
Yes.
Oliver Moore is going to take a jump.
Even if.
And then don't forget, you're going to draft likely another top 4 player.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe even number 1.
And we've all forgotten about Sasha Boisvert because he's been banged up this year.
He's been good. Merrick
Vanacker
leads the OHA in goals.
Yes.
Not good enough for Team Canada.
And again, might not be on the team next year. AJ Spellicy.
Yeah.
Almost didn't make Team USA. And then all of a sudden jumped on the second line after 1 game.
It's coming. I know that, this losing streak, this span sucks. But when you lose your your top two offensive players, when you lose Bedard and Nazar, I don't know what you expected. I mean, this is pretty much exactly how I thought it would go.
If you took Sidney Crosby and Brian Rust and Chris Letang off the Penguins, would they be good? They're still not good.
I mean, they're not that good with those guys.
If you took Jason Robertson and Rico Rantanen and Miro Heiskanen off the Stars, how would they be?
Not that great.
Right. I know those guys are all better than who we're talking about, but the point remains.
Hey, if Rico Rantanen was off the Stars last night, they might have had a third
That's right.
shootout.
They would have won.
They would have won in the shootout.
Trade
bum.
Mikko Rantanen.
He was just helping out his former teammates.
Yeah,
Blackhawks legend Mikko Rantanen.
Yes. All right, let's hit the break zone. Mario should be calling in soon. We got some Jeff Flashful rolling in. We might hear from Wyatt Kaiser later in the show as well. If you've not hit that like button, please do so. Let's get to 100 likes. That's not too much to ask. We have 72 right now. We can certainly get to 100. We got 30 minutes to go. Let's go. Let's get to that number. We'll talk to you in a few minutes here on CHGO Blackhawks. Nothing is better than getting back to the roots of hockey, the nostalgia of the outdoor game away from the indoor rinks. They've been doing it in the NHL for a long time, and now you can attend the 4th annual Sand County Classic at Sand Valley. That's January 30th through February 1st. It's a 4-on-4 tournament, round-robin play with multiple outdoor rinks, a stunning setting with snow-capped dunes and red pines. They've got divisions for 21+, 30+, and 40+, with advanced and beginner tiers. It's not just the hockey. You're also going to get top-tier treatment hospitality with food and drinks. It overlooks the rinks. You get a swag bag, shuttle service, meals, and other on-ice activities, and, of course, lodging. They have all-inclusive packages with cottages literally steps from the ice. This looks awesome. Register your team now. Registration's open at this moment at sandvalley.com. Again, that's sandvalley.com. Sign up for this awesome hockey tournament. Bring your team. And you like being a winner? Check out our friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the greatest way to play. All you do, you choose more than, less than. So next week's Bears game, Caleb Williams, 200, more than, less than. DeAndre Swift, 85 yards, more than, less than. The more you stack, the better you do. It is great. Of all the sports and markets Prize Picks offers, I think it's awesome that you can make picks on fantasy score, free throws made, field goals attempted, all that stuff. It is awesome. Love playing it. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Download the Prize Pick app today. Use our code CHGO to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CHGO to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineups. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. And you know what's also fun? Attending NHL games. And sometimes being the fan on the road is one of the most rewarding experiences. It can also suck, but it's fun to be there when your home team wins on the road. And Game Time is the app that gives the advantage back to you, the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. Super easy to use. The Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. And our favorite feature here at CHGO is the views from your seat. You're going to a new arena. You're going to a new ballpark, whatever it might be. You want to know you're not going to have an obstructed view. You're going to get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Use our code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. All right, we are back on CHGO Blackhawks. Thanks for being patient with us. Thanks for hitting that like button. Mario is going to call us in a little bit, but I want to take a moment to shout out Greg.
Wait, what happened?
You got engaged on Christmas. Did you forget?
Oh, yeah, that happened.
Greg got engaged on Christmas.
I did.
Tapped
out.
Tapped out.
5.5 years was long enough, and I said, okay.
I think that's the opposite of tapping out.
Well, I tapped out to the when are you going to ask me to marry?
Okay, fair.
I gave in.
I like that. That's some good fanfare.
Feels like I just became king.
Very majestic.
But yes, a busy few days since the last time I was there. Got engaged on Christmas, and then we got 2 new puppies adopted yesterday. So life has definitely changed.
Life is life.
The getting the engaged did not change the day-to-day routine. Getting 6-month-old puppy definitely changed the day-to-day routine. But yes, appreciate everybody who reached out and sent messages. So, obviously very happy. And stop asking me if we picked a date.
Well, that was my next question.
It's not my job.
All right. It's not your job.
It will be an off-season wedding. That I can guarantee.
That is
it will
smart.
not be during the hockey season.
Plan your life better than Ilya Mikheyev.
So it will be. I am planning my life better. I will never have to leave for maternity leave, guaranteed.
That is fair enough. Fair enough. Yes. I said this to you today as we were waiting for Jeff Blashill pregame, and this is the lesson I learned during my engagement was, and this goes for anybody watching, especially you dudes, especially. Your wife is going to say, she's going to want your opinion on wedding stuff. Do you like blue? Do you like green? All you have to do is have an opinion. Just say, don't say, honey, I don't care. You pick. Just say, I like the blue. And then she'll say, you know what? I think I like the green. You say, you know what? On second thought, that's correct. Green is the right way to go. I'm with you. But you just have to have the opinion.
So asking which one is cheaper is not the good
No.
way.
No.
That's not a good.
Just say,
good way.
you know what, honey, whatever you think is the, I really like this one. It's really close though. I could go either way, but I think I'm leaning towards the blue. No, I'm kind of leaning towards green. You know what? Yeah. Now that you mention it, I do think green will look better. When you consider it, that's it. Just have an opinion.
It's all on video. So if this doesn't work,
yeah,
we're gonna.
It'll work.
Right.
It'll work. You just have to show some interest. That's all.
I'm interested.
Have a thought.
I'm interested. I honestly, I'm not like I don't. As long as it's what she wants, I'm on board.
That's it.
I'm.
Perfect.
I don't. It's not for me.
It's not about you.
It's not for me.
Yeah, exactly.
I
also do smile a little bit picturing you with Stella and Pickle, the senior dogs that just passed away over the last year or so.
Yeah.
Older, very comfy on the couch, and now you have a puppy, and it's like it is a complete culture shock.
It is. We got a 4-year-old pug Wilbur and a 6-month-old pug Olive. They are full of energy. They are jumpers, which we're not used to. So yes, it is quite the shock. But yesterday was absolutely insane when we got them home from the rescue. But today was a lot more chill. They were snoozing on the couch. They were like, all right, this is what pugs love sleep. That's
Same.
why they're my kind of dog.
Exactly.
So we'll get the energy out. We'll take them for the walks, and then we'll get them into our routine sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we had the culture shock from our last dog. Ray was like a perfect. We said she came like pre-programmed, didn't bark, never cry, was just the happiest, sweetest dog ever. And then we adopted Bailey, who is a normal dog,
right?
But he's a Rottie and a hound with high energy, loud barker, and we were just like, "What is happening?" And he was 6 months old when we got him, so he's a nutbag. He's finally somewhat acceptable.
Yeah, no, it's worth it. It's fun. We're excited. We weren't planning on 2 dogs at the same time, but these were a bonded pair. The rescue believes they're actually father and daughter.
Oh, cool.
So we were looking at, we were even talking, we lost Pickle at the first of the month, and it was like, let's wait till after the holidays. The rescues will be full and we'll take some time. But after about a week of an empty house, we were both we need to have a puppy here. And it just turned out that we got 2. So,
good job.
We're
Way to
happy.
go. All right, let's go out to United Center and welcome in Mario Tirabassi, who was covering all the post-game festivities, including Jeff Blashill's press comments. We already heard from Nick Foligno. We did not hear from Wyatt Kaiser. I assume, just based on the result, Mario, that the mood was not great.
Yeah, not a jovial mood tonight in the locker room. Just a game where you I don't even know how you try and answer back from having the wheels fall off the game within the first 9 minutes. You're down 4-0 after 7 shots on goal. Like even some of the best teams in the league, that's a tough hole to dig yourself out of. So it's a night that I think we expected last night to kind of feel like, but we instead of getting it last night, we get it tonight. So you have to get back to it, and hope for better on Tuesday. They're gonna practice tomorrow. We know Jeff Blashill's big on needing the team to stay focused on their process and their habits, and that's why he's making them practice on a day between two games after back-to-backs. Like, that's the focus. I imagine that's going to be, the focus of the practice tomorrow, and then they're back at it Tuesday. So it's one of those games that nobody really had it tonight. A couple of individual efforts were, worth highlighting, but collectively from a group, like, they didn't have the game necessary tonight to even try and hang with Pittsburgh, who, as we were talking about it before the game, and I'm sure you guys have talked about it on the show already, they were coming into this game with like one win in the last 3 weeks, and it was a shootout win. Like, this was a team that, in better circumstances, I think the Hawks should have taken care of.
No doubt about it. This is as much as this game was, we started the show saying, however you want to spin this, the story of the night is that Spencer Knight wasn't good enough, but we are seeing a bit of a trend on back-to-backs. The second half of back-to-backs have not gone well for this team.
Yeah, 0-4 on night 2 of back-to-backs, and I believe I saw Charlie Roumeliotis tweeted it out there. They've been outscored 27-6 in those 4 games. If you are good at math, that's almost 7 goals allowed per game. That's not good. So Jeff Blashill actually talked about the problems that they face with back-to-backs and how it played into tonight's game.
The mentality for the second halves?
2 things I'd say. I'm not tired about being asked for it. I think we should be asked for it. The second thing is, again, it was a night. It was a night where I can't sit here and say to you, like, when we played Buffalo, we played Anaheim, and we got outplayed grossly early. I think the puck went in for them, and it didn't go in for us on our chances. So we need to make sure, just fundamentally, I still think we need to improve a lot defensively, just so that you're not even giving those up. That's one fundamentally, and that way you just never risk that you have to chase the game. But that's just, as a group, we got to get better at that, whether it's structure or just individual fundamentals. But so to me, it was a little bit different than some of those other back-to-backs, to be honest with you.
That's interesting. I did not expect him to kind of blame the defensive structure on things. And I think you're down 4-0 halfway through the first period, and you're going to lose your structure because you're trying to get back in the game, that sort of thing. But I don't think it's complicated. Spencer Knight just did not have it today. I think 3 of the 4 goals he let in were bad, were soft. The one bar down goal, maybe he could have gotten a glove on it, but it was just a great shot. Wasn't even sure it actually had gone in, but I don't think this is complicated. I don't think it's anything that he needs to rag on the defense for. I think it's just the goaltender let him down. I tweeted it out after the first period. 0.44 expected goals against in the first period at all strengths. They gave up 4. That is a goalie issue. And look, Spencer Knight has been awesome. And the reason the Hawks were in the playoff picture for as long as they were, one of the main reasons. So no blame to him. I have full confidence in him to come back next game and be good. But I think the story is, I think he's just being diplomatic. The goalie wasn't good enough. No one's going to say that.
Yeah.
And nor should they, by the way.
Well, Pete DeBoer did and got fired. So,
yeah. True. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the third period. The analytics, it's just entirely skewed towards the Hawks, but it's because the Penguins started with a 7-2 lead. They're just trying to get back on the bus and not get hurt at that point. But even through the first 2 periods, your scoring chances are 24-17 for the Blackhawks. Your high danger chances, you're 13-10. Like, you're getting more shot attempts on the Penguins than you were giving up, and yeah, it's just you're starting halfway through the first period in a 4-0 hole. So it's a game that I think if you go back and you say, like, hey, if Spencer Knight even has a below average Spencer Knight game, this was uncharacteristic of Spencer Knight, the way he's been playing this season, to have that kind of start to a game. But even a below average Spencer Knight game, I think you're still saying, well, maybe it's 2-0 after the first period. That's not insurmountable. This team has come back from 2-goal deficits before. But to be 4-0 at that point, to have taken your time out, like, you really just got to a point where I don't think you could have done anything else at that point to try and change things, because the way you were playing seemed, like you were hanging with them. It's just, when you got chances, you rang them off the post, and when they got even half-hearted pucks on net, they found a way to go in.
So with that in mind, the decision to pull Spencer Knight, to me, felt performance-based. Sometimes you'll do it to wake up the team. What was his explanation for the decision to pull Spencer Knight? Yeah,
he said he didn't have it. Spencer wasn't on top of his game, so he played that card to try and say, like, hey, like, maybe this can do a spark, but it was more off of how Knight was playing. And then you have Söderblom play half of the first period, all the second period, and then he had played the night before. You don't want to play him basically almost 2 full games on back-to-backs. Like, that's a tough workload for a goalie, even coming off of a holiday break where you have a couple of days off. So his decision was to send Knight back in for the third, to give him some time because of the holiday break and how long he had been off, and to also not run Söderblom into the ground after 2 games. So I'm not gonna argue with him about that. I think it was very evident that would have been the reason that you're pulling Spencer Knight. I think if this was a situation where you're getting shelled and it's there's 10 minutes into the game, there's 15 shots on goal and it's 4-0, you might keep them in to say, like, hey, like, during the timeout, maybe the messaging is you guys are leaving him hanging. Like, you're if that was the situation, but it was obviously this. For whatever reason, Spencer Knight was not his normal self tonight.
All right, we got to hit the break zone. We are close to 100 likes. We need to get 100. That would be, if we don't get 100, that's like a season low number. So let's hit it. Hit that like button. We'll be back in a few minutes on CHGO Blackhawks. 'Tis the season for saving at Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake with hot deals all month long during their year-end sales event. Stop in today and drive home with $0 down and 0 payments until March on all new Chevrolet models. Or check out their selection of over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. With one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories, you're sure to find the perfect vehicle for you. And as one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, they're able to keep their prices competitive, so you'll get a great deal. Plus, Ray's Price Promise lets you shop confidently because the price you see is the price you pay. Go see for yourself. Visit our partner at their convenient location on Route 12 in Fox Lake, and don't miss out on their year-end sales event going on all month long. $0 down, 0 payments until March on all new Chevy models. Shop Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or at raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive. And winter is here. It's windy. It's going to be cold. It's going to get brutal. Is your home's heating up for the challenge? Now is the time to find out. Get in touch with our friends at Four Seasons. At Four Seasons, they guarantee same-day installation for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, and generator needs with no extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays, because that is when it's going to go sideways. All those times. Save up to $4,000 on furnaces and comfort systems with Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric. Furnaces start at $39 a month. Furnace AC combos from $57 a month. Call today and save $50 from your trusted local experts. Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric has been serving Chicagoland for over 50 years. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. Again, that's fourseasonsheatingcooling.com. get your house nice and toasty so your wife's not mad at you. And if you're an athlete, here is a question for you. Are you serious about leveling up your game? Because the right coach can change everything, and now finding one is easy with Eye on the Ball. My daughter started pitching lessons a couple years ago, went from pretty good to very good, so we'll see where that leads. Couldn't have done it with me. I don't know what I'm doing. We found the right coach. That's what matters. It doesn't matter if your kid's just starting out or competing at the top level. You can sign up totally free at eyeontheball.net. Create your profile, search through coaches in your sport, and connect directly with one that's right for you. From soccer to swimming, softball to basketball, you name it, the coaches are there. So what are you waiting for? Your future coach could be one click away. Jump on today at eyeontheball.net. That's eyeontheball.net. Find your coach and take your game to the next level. And if you're a coach, you can get on eyeontheball.net as well. Upload your profile. You're going to be background checked, which is good. Think the deal's still going on. 6 months free to be a coach on eyeontheball.net. Check it out. All right, we are back on CHGO Blackhawks. We can only go an hour today because of Bears programming, so let's get to it quickly. Jeff Blashill says, what's the message to the team here after a ass whooping, basically?
Well, I just told them, listen, like for sure it's hard. Is it hard? 100%. We're going through a little hard stretch right now. But I actually really like this group. And I like who they are as people. I like who they are as competitors. I like who they are as hockey players. And I like the potential in the group, even for the rest of this season. We got to grind through this. Yes. Is this what any of us want to go through? No. But that's. I was going to say that's effing life, but that's life. You could hear it out my kids here. That's life, man. You got to grind, and it's not. It doesn't always go the way you want it. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. We got to continue to work together. But I am pumped to go work with this group tomorrow and try to get better for the next game.
You talk so much about process, and is it important for them not to be looking in the standings right now, and that's where the focus has to be, is that process?
For sure, I think honestly that's kind of what we talked about from day one. We've never, I don't think, maybe once or twice even talked about the standings, to be honest with you. Like the reality is, we just got to focus on getting better, and we got to focus on our continued improvement here from a day-to-day basis. And I've said this before, but I'm a big believer in there's nothing you can do about tonight. You got to go move forward tomorrow. You learn from mistakes and then move forward. You can get better tomorrow. And that's the way we'll continue to look at it.
Have they been pretty locked in that regard?
I think so. You'd have to ask them, obviously, but I think so. Like, I think it's a group that's, like I said, I really, really enjoy working with this group. They want to get better. They want to improve. They don't want to go through this. They aren't passing the buck. They aren't. They're looking in the mirror and saying, individually we got to get better, and as a group we got to get better. That's the way they've approached it.
All right, my bad on that one, Mario. I know you were going to talk into it, but I gave Sarah a bad cue. But there you heard it. I mean, I kind of agree with him. This team does seem eager to learn. They do seem eager to work. I think that there have been a handful of times where there's been, like, that was just a terrible effort, right? Like, I think the Buffalo game, which you mentioned earlier, is a great example. But I don't think that was the case tonight. I don't think it's been the case lately. I think it's more of a talent issue with your best players out.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, like, you have a group that is on the younger side of their careers. Even some of the veterans are, guys like Wyatt Kaiser and Alex Vlasic, like these guys that are in like second and third and fourth years being pro. So like there's still that like necessity and desire and hunger to like learn, the process of the NHL and go through those things. Not every player is a Nick Foligno who's played 17 plus seasons in the NHL and has seen pretty much everything you can as a player. So these guys need to come back tomorrow and be back at it Tuesday, and be able to, I would say for the most part, replicate what you did in the first two periods of this game. You have a better performance in net, and this game is completely different. So you can build upon it. This is still a performance that you take the score out of it. You take the isolated bad Spencer Knight performance out of it. The skaters tonight can come away and say that there's a lot that you can still build on, and take away from and say like there's last night's effort, tonight's effort. There's still building blocks to moving forward with this group.
Well, if there's any bright side to losing 7-3 It's that you can get your younger guys out there a little bit more. We saw increased level of ice time for Moore and Lardis and Ryan Green. So I think that's, if you're looking for something, one of the benefits is you're down big, get the kids out there and play them more.
Yeah, Blashill had some good things to say about that trio as well. How they were used on the power play, even sparsely, but on that second unit. And Lardis tonight.
I thought they played, pretty good. I thought, they had obviously an elite chance in the first there. Greener hits the post. I thought overall they played pretty good. I think they're not getting the match that, like a Dickinson's line's getting. Dickinson and Crosby all night, so that's a harder match. So then, I think if we put them in those situations that are favorable, they have opportunities to have success. But I thought that's probably the best overall game I think that line's played for me.
How you try to utilize them on the second power play unit, adding Doc into the mix as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we're just obviously, our PP, we had 2 in the first and didn't score, so we got to find a way to. I thought we created some chances, so I don't want to make it a bigger deal than it is. It wasn't like we didn't create anything, but we do got to find a way to score more on the power play. It's a hard league to score 5-on-5 on a consistent basis.
All right, there you have it. Anything else we need to know before you spring it, so we can wash and flush this game forever?
Practice tomorrow at 11:30 in the morning.
All right, I will be there. Should be fun.
Should
Mario,
be fun.
Drive safe, man. We'll see you soon.
See you guys.
All right, that's Mario Tirabassi from the United Center. Before we wrap up, we have to assign our Game Day Men's Health Game Puck. Better father, better husband, better man. Go to Game Day Men's Health. Visit GameDayCHGO.com to find locations closest to you. The winner is Tyler Bertuzzi, who played balls out, scored a goal with about half a second to go, played until the final whistle, as he does. Final line for him, a goal +1, 20 minutes and 3 seconds of ice time, 2 shots on goal, another shot attempt, a hit, a giveaway, and a block shot. So a good night for number 59. Who
wasn't even a road game.
No, I know. Yeah. He just continues to be one of the most consistent Hawks. And if you asked me coming into the season, who would be, the most consistent Hawks player this year, I don't know if Tyler Bertuzzi would have been my pick, because the big knock on him is the inconsistency. He'll go 10 games and you won't notice him, and then he'll pop off for 7 points and 3, and then it's this year he has been a factor in most games.
He kind of, right after the Bedard injury, kind of had 3 or 4 games in a row where it's like, hey, we kind of need you here. But the last 2 or 3 games have been really good. So, good effort from Bertuzzi, who's having a really good season. 19 goals now. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Jeff Blashill's the Tyler Bertuzzi whisper.
I guess so. It sure seems that way. And both of those guys, they were asked about it early in the season. They're both like, I don't know. I just think I don't know. Bertuzzi was kind of saying, I just like the way he coaches. He communicates. And Blashill's like, I don't think there's anything to it. I just think it's more of a coincidence, but there's got to be something to it.
Maybe there isn't. Who knows? But it's working so far this season. So it's been good for the Hawks. I just want to give a shout out to Arvid Söderblom for a minute before we head out.
Yeah.
In the last 24 hours, less than 24 hours, he stopped Jamie Benn, Mikko Rantanen, and Sidney Crosby on breakaways.
And he also made Mikko Rantanen just punt on an attempt.
So
anyway.
Scared. He knew he had no chance.
Yeah, he knew he had no chance.
No chance. He's like, you know what? Not even
dropped it off.
I'm not going to waste our time.
Exactly.
I'm not going to hurt myself trying to score a goal here. So no, awesome. The Ben Pope had a really good article about apparently the end of the world going on outside right now. He had a really good article about the extra work that he's been putting in and the things he's been trying to prove in his last couple games. We've seen it, and they need him to be better.
Yes,
because it hasn't been good enough.
If he can be what he's been, I know last night was, I want to say superhuman, but very, very good. To play like you played tonight. Stop the goals you're supposed to stop.
Yeah.
That's it. And maybe 1 or 2 extra.
That's your job.
That's it. That's all you need. All right. We will talk to everybody. No show tomorrow. We are back Tuesday, post game, Hawks and Islanders. That is a home game, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
The next 2 are home games.
Thank God. Because pre-games are rough these days. 7:30 puck drop on Tuesday and Thursday. So, 9:45-ish usually? 10-ish?
10-ish.
Yeah, we'll be here. Greg will be here. I'll be here. Chloe will be back from Denver. Sarah will be mad because she'll miss us so much. All right, we're going to let Sarah go so she can go cut up bears. We'll talk to everybody Tuesday after
Go
Hawks
Bears.
and Isles on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.